And good morning. Welcome to Focus on Stafford County on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. We are the talk of the town. Time for a once-a-month visit with our friends from Stafford County. That includes Executive Director Carolyn Dunn, who is she's on the phone with me right now. Assistant Director Kathleen Norman. She had to step out today, so we don't get the dynamic duo. We just get you, Carolyn, today. So that's perfectly fine. So
well, that's the benefit of having a team. She's keeping the train on the tracks right now.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Kind of putting in there with the Port Authority. I like that. The train on the tracks. Yeah. See, look what you just did. Okay, we have plenty of things that we can talk about here on the program today, but this is always coming up for a fun weekend in St. John ribbon cutting. You have a celebration going on right now, St. John Jubilee. So
that's part of where Kathleen's keeping things moving. You know, it's kind of nice, I think, when we have these city festivals. It gives us a real, deadline to push for doing some of these. The spiffing up of the town. And we've talked about the mural that we've had painted at the corner of 2nd and Main in St. John over the course of the last year. It was something that was painted largely during literally that month of shutdowns. The artist was available to come, and she was working by herself and outside, and so that progressed even during the heart of all of the coronavirus shutdowns. It's been a nice, just positive, just visible improvement to our town over the course of the last year. We've had a number of volunteers who have contributed to improving the landscaping around that. And here at Jubilee, we're going to have a ribbon cutting to officially officially give it to the public is maybe one way of looking at it. So what Kathleen's working on right now, there's some interpretive panels that have been printed, and there's a person over there installing them right now. So, it's down to the wire, but I think we'll have it in a very nice, presentable place for tomorrow.
Tell me about the artist and how you found her.
Her name is Inga Oyala, and she responded to an RFP. So we worked with the Kansas Creative Arts Industry Commission and had a budget for doing the mural. We put out a formal RFP, and, I think with the help of the Kansas Creative Arts Industry Commission, was able to make sure that some artists that have a background in mural design were aware of it. So we got 2 different artists that responded to that with very different styles. One was much more contemporary, and I would say that Inga's style is much more traditional. And we had a committee of people that interviewed both of those artists, looked at some of their past work, and decided on Inga. And she was absolutely the right person for this portrait. It's a snapshot that's intended to tell about the founding of the town of St. John, and in these interpretive panels, it gives the story of how William Bickerton was kind of the original settler with a in a sense, a colony of people who kind of envisioned this to be a utopian community. And I guess the panels tell it even better than I will. Come see the mural and check it out. But Inga's portrait is very much, of the open prairie and settlers that I think had a lot of hope and had, just carried a lot of positivity and hope. I think it's an uplifting kind of portrayal. And, there's a lot of detail in there. I think we kind of benefited from the fact that it was done in this time of kind of economic, in a way, shutdown. She had time to linger on our project. Her next project was kind of on hold. So I remember at the end, she just kept, adding another animal, adding another piece of detail. And we actually have an interview with her there's actually a little QR code on these interpretive panels. It's also on our website.
Really?
I did about a half-hour interview with her when she finished that project a year ago, and she just, goes right to left over the mural and just gives all of the detail of even like the types of vegetation she put into there. She gave thought to what was historically accurate and or accurate for this region. There's a lot of things that her personal interest and passion is kind of in historic Western art, and so she brings a lot of that into the detail of this mural. So it's one that you can sit and just, if you take the time to look at it in detail, you'll just see more and more of those details. Even just like this little hidden mouse that's perching on a I don't know, kind of an architectural piece of the building.
It
It's
sounds
fun.
like
It's the kind of thing that would be fun to play the game with little kids of can't do you spy, because there's a lot of that in there.
Where's Inga from, or where?
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, she grew up in Oregon, or she has some ties to Oregon for sure. She'll be here tomorrow for the ribbon cutting.
That's neat.
She now lives not too far from Dodge City, but I think she actually she would. Here I am. I hope I do justice to her background, but her family, including her, but her dad too, had some history in doing set design in Hollywood. So I forget now. She's told me which movies in particular, and I'll probably say the wrong thing. But if I try to say which movies, I don't remember if Gunsmoke played a part in that or what. But they definitely, I know, have had roles in doing set design in Western-themed movies or shows.
What a great idea to put a QR code on there.
No, that was Kathleen.
Oh,
she knows how to do that techie stuff.
Well, the way it sounds, you kind of hit the jackpot on this. It seemed like it was better than what you could even hope for. For
sure, it really it has been. It's been a fun project. It's been more involved than I probably anticipated it would be when we agreed to play a part in it, but it's worth it. That I think it's good to have these kinds of just community improvement projects that are nice and visible and accessible to everybody. So I'm happy that it's coming together.
Where's that?
If I even think about all of what was involved in setting this all up, it kind of dovetails into the other project that we're going to be showing off during Jubilee. So Stafford County Economic Development owned the lot that's now, landscaped and adjacent to this mural. The building, if you really get technical, we own half of the wall. It was originally, a party wall, and one building was torn down. We have the vacant lot. But obviously, you need the building on the other side of that party wall, that half wall to exist. The owner of that building, Bob Steinmates, was interested in having part of our lot and also owned another lot in town. And long story short, we traded the back half of this lot for a different lot at 8th and Broadway in St. John, and that's where we've built our house that K-State has been involved in now for almost 2 years. And so it's kind of just been all the way around. It's been a good community improvement. Stafford County Economic Development continues to own the east half of that lot. That's where we've put some landscaping in, little kind of walking path, as it were, and some decorative benches and a picnic table. So we have that. Bob's going to do some other things with the back side of that lot. And then on the lot at 8th and Broadway, we've now built a house. That's going to be open on Saturday morning of Jubilee from 9 to noon. It won't be finished. We're working hard on it along with the students this week. But to just so people know, it's going to still be a work in progress, but I think you'll really enjoy seeing where it is. You'll definitely get a feel for what that living environment is going to be and be able to see a lot of the deliberate design choices that the students did, not only in kind of the way things look, but also the way that it operates, the way that they've done things so that it's energy efficient. So we'll probably be missing a little bit of trim work and
How many of these houses do you hope to have?
We intend to build 9 more of the same design.
Cool.
So we'll have 3 more in St. John, 1 in Hudson, 3 in Stafford, and 2 in Maxville when it's all said and done. And
this is going to be Saturday morning then for the open house.
Correct.
Okay. Are you going to be like the hostess, or what do you who's the tour guide down there for that?
Well, the nice thing about this is that we will still have the students here along with their professor. So,
okay, awesome.
Yeah, I can give a lot of the tour, but they know pieces of it that I don't, and so we probably should do an interview with them, similar to what I did with the artist at the mural, and let them tell the side of the story that I don't know in full. But
so
it probably won't be our last open house. I think we may look to try, when it is truly finished, to have a day that some of the administration from K-State and the grant sources will also have an opportunity to tour it. But this right now is the time that the public has the opportunity to see it during our city festival.
I don't know if people move in there, they want a QR code on their house.
Well, we are considering keeping it as our landing. We currently provide housing for interns, and I think it's going to be our intern house going forward for partially that reason of continuing to be able to have access to it and use it as the model house that it is, to be able, because I know that there's, in fact, I have an unreturned call to a gentleman in Caney, Kansas, that's interested in our housing project. I know that we're going to continue to have some interest in just learning from it. That's what the intent of it was to be something that could be replicated as affordable housing in other rural areas around the state. So we're glad to share information about it, right, wrong, or indifferent.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll have more of today's show focused on Stafford County. Carolyn Dunn joining us here on the program. Stay with us.
Hey, folks, this is Trey Bergen with Ag 360 Insurance. With storm season approaching, making sure your irrigation systems are covered correctly is extremely important. At Ag 360 Insurance, we have multiple companies that provide great coverage at a competitive price. We would appreciate an opportunity to earn your business. Feel free to stop by our office in St. John or give us a call at 620-549-3579. You can also check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
SJN Bank of Kansas knows the value of rural Kansas and is committed to all of the communities they serve, personal to business banking and more. They offer mobile banking options too. Download their app at SJN Bank of Kansas and find them online at sjnbank.com. Serving you since 1905 and with 6 locations. SJN Bank of Kansas in St. John, Maxville, Hudson, Burdett, Greensburg, and La Crosse. Member FDIC.
We're having lots of fun in 21. The St. John Jubilee begins Friday afternoon, May 28th through Saturday, May 29th in downtown St. John. It's going to be a full weekend of fun. Enjoy the different vendors, a full-size carnival, beer garden, cornhole tournament, street dance featuring the Adam Capps Band, parade, rec commission runs, prize drawings, and more. Come see for yourself. A full schedule can be found by visiting the Around the Square St. John, Kansas Facebook page. We'll see you at the 2021 St. John Jubilee in downtown St. John.
Thanks, Dakota. Pretty good description of St. John Jubilee that's taking place. Carolyn Dunn with us from Stafford County Economic Development. So this is a fun weekend down there in Stafford County, especially in St. John, right?
It is. That's right. And hopefully the weather holds up for us.
Oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fun. Okay, this is kind of, I don't know how many details you have on this, but everybody hearing the funding from the American Rescue Plan Act, also known as ARPA, I guess.
Right.
So anything new to report on that or where are we at?
Well, we are at a point where we're aware that our cities and our counties are eligible. We kind of have an idea of how much funding that they would be able to receive if they chose to do that. The county and Stafford would get a little over $800,000. Cities of St. John and St. John and Stafford each are in the neighborhood of $175,000. Hudson, even Radium and Seward, as small as those towns are, they each are eligible for an allocation. And so, I think there's a lot of sorting out to do with that, how the cities might use that. I think that I hope that there's a way that we can use this in those strategic kinds of needs that have always been there, but were amplified all the more by COVID. And, because this is COVID-related funding, there needs to be the connection. But I think there's eligibility of projects in broadband, affordable housing, early childhood education, healthcare capacity, water and sewer, job training. There's a broad range of things that can be eligible. It's not all just about personal protective equipment or vaccine distribution. Certainly those have been important and have received a lot of focus to this point. But looking to the next 2 years, this is funding that is provided also for the recovery phase of things. And there's a broad set of things that certainly we've talked about a lot as being needs, and I hope we can find some way to address them through this funding.
So it is a lengthy I'm sure that they do their due diligence, because I think a great project for Radium would be to rebuild a football field there, because I like old football fields at these smaller towns. They probably would. I think that'd be so cool. I mean, the Radium Rangers would be back, with their football field. But
yeah.
but what about this process to show need and things like that?
Yeah, Radium's allocation, I think, is going to be around $3,800. So it's not a lot, but it might be something that addresses some broadband. There may be a way to improve that. We've talked a lot about. In fact, even in the first round of Spark funding, that part of the county received some upgrades in broadband infrastructure, and certainly very fitting. It will be up to those city councils and county commissioners to make some choices on that, but, I think there's even some ways that they might be able to support some of the affordable housing that we're attempting to develop more of right now. Like I said, early childhood education, that kind of thing, or child care is cited frequently, and it's a dilemma. But maybe this is a way to kind of chip away at some of the challenges we've had there.
Okay, Carolyn Dunn with us. She is the Executive Director for Stafford County Economic Development. We'll take our final break and be back to wrap up the show in a moment.
The friendly staff at Stafford County Drug appreciates your patronage. The lobby is open, and they offer a convenient drive-up window. They'll even deliver your prescriptions in Stafford, St. John, and Maxville for free. Stafford County Drug knows the value of a hard-earned dollar and wants to work with you and your doctor to make prescriptions easy. For any questions on switching your prescriptions to your local pharmacy, call pharmacist Chris Davis, 620-377-5633. Stafford County Drug, open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Inside White's Food Liner, Highway 281, St. John.
Hey folks, this is Trey Bergen with Ag 360 Insurance. With storm season approaching, making sure your irrigation systems are covered correctly is extremely important. At Ag 360 Insurance, we have multiple companies that provide great coverage at a competitive price. We would appreciate an opportunity to earn your business. Feel free to stop by our office in St. John or give us a call at 620-549-3579. You can also check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
Welcome back to Focus on Stafford County. You like that, Carolyn? You get Radium Rangers on the show today.
I was just saying, there's not very many people that could, recall a memory of the Radium football field and just recall so readily the mascot of Radium High School.
Well, they've got a
they do still have Radium Rangers active, though. It's the senior citizen group.
Really?
Mm-hmm,
okay, send me an email because I want to talk to somebody from Radium on Sports Day. So just send me a contact number. I want to do that. Okay.
I can do that.
Okay, here we go. I like this. It's all about smaller towns. Okay. Quickly here, what do you want to hit on? There's you got a new AmeriCorps member, but I won't.
Well, I won't totally steal the thunder for maybe next month's show, but just to give a little preview that we continue to develop our AmeriCorps program. We have someone that is coming here in July and has agreed to do a service year, and we'll be working on arts-based community development. That includes some continuing work with Gray's Studio. Gray's Studio recently received word that they've been approved for a grant to continue renovations on the building. So that's exciting. But I think the intent is that we don't focus all on just the building, but that we start to develop some community programming. And that will be a lot of this new person's role, is to do that. And we continue to have 2 other positions available, focusing on various aspects of economic development. We have some visions of one having some especially strong emphasis in public health and housing in the coming year. That would dovetail a lot with the kinds of funding we have available and the work that we can expand in those areas. And so I guess if anyone listening knows of someone that might be interested in that kind of work, send them our way.
That AmeriCorps has been pretty good. You've got some very young, talented, I call them kids, but young people that have been part of that program.
We have, and then the ongoing connections that come from that are nice. Kathleen wouldn't be here if she hadn't first done a service year, but I look at that position. It developed this shared workspace we have. We actually have a person working in our shared workspace this week who is originally from Stafford County, now living in Colorado, was back this week and wanted to continue working remotely for their job, but the place that they were staying didn't have good broadband access. And we said, well, that's why we're here. Please come use our space. And it's been fun to share our space with a different young professional this week. This wouldn't be available if we hadn't worked with our AmeriCorps position to develop this shared workspace. I look at other AmeriCorps work, and that led to the housing grants. The work that Hannah, one of the very first things that she did with us was develop some major housing applications. We've been approved for $1 million worth of funding now to continue building a set of houses. That's been enhanced by AmeriCorps. Devin worked with Gray's Studio, carried that to its next kind of level. It positioned it for another grant to hopefully get mostly finished with the renovation work. A lot of that is a credit to the work that had been done in the previous year with AmeriCorps. So I think we can just build on that.
Well, it's been a very, very good program. See, you always worry about we're not going to have enough to talk about. My gosh, we didn't even talk about the port, but really no new updates on that. So we'll check in with you next week or next month. Sounds like we'll have a packed show next month. You've got all kinds of things going on. We may have visitors coming to St. John. Who knows about all of this? But Carolyn, thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy St. John Jubilee, and we will talk to you in the month of June. Wow.
Sounds great.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn. That's Carolyn Dunn. She is the Executive Director of the Stafford County Economic Development with us here on Focus on Stafford County. Love having this program on once a month. Coming up, we will have your noon report. Cole Rife standing by with a look at news. Of course, Sports Day coming up at 12:25 this afternoon. You're listening to 1590 KVGB. Great Bend.